Welcome into a very exciting episode of The Scene. I'm your host, Bubba Starts, and with me today is Layna Lay. Welcome to the
Hi,
show.
how are you?
I'm fantastic. I'm so happy to have you on. I know you just had a big weekend. I saw pictures on your social media from some, it looked like a gala event or something of that sort. So I know you've been having a big year already. Why don't you go ahead and kind of introduce yourself and yeah, tell our listeners kind of what you're about.
All right. So hey everyone, my name is Layna Lay. I'm a singer-songwriter, urban pop artist from the DMV. Um, I kind of got into doing music on a whim. It's really a crazy story, but I've transitioned a lot. I used to do like hip hop and rap and all that kind of stuff, and now I just settled on like urban pop, which is like a mix of the two. So yeah, and I just like to spread positivity. I like to spread love in my music. I like to, connect with people about, with my music. And yeah, it's kind of one of those things. I'm just riding the wave and see where it goes.
That's funny. That kind of explains my podcast journey. I am a songwriter myself. And last year, about this time, I quit my welding job in the factory. I thought I was going to be a rock star, Lena. And I fell into podcasting, have absolutely fallen in love with it. And now we're just kind of riding that wave the same way.
That's you already know how it is.
Yep.
I'm
Yeah.
nothing
So
mixed up.
DMV, you're from the Washington, D.C. area. I live out here in South Dakota, so a little bit of culture shock for me. What's the scene like in D.C. for an urban pop artist like?
I will say it's kind of new. It's a big hip hop R&B scene around here, so I'm kind of just, stepping in with something a little different. But I will say everybody has been really welcoming, has been really open to it. So that's been really good, and it's just nice to just bring something a little different, to my area.
Right. Well, and that's what we all kind of seek to do is to show up and to be ourselves. I think that you do that in spades from the little bit that I have seen online. A magnificent stage presence to you, a big, powerful voice as well. So I've become a really big fan in the last week or so that I've been digging into what it is that you do. Well, yeah, what to talk about now? I mean, for me, I'm a country rock artist. So, our challenges out here in the Midwest are mostly distance, right? I'm an hour and a half from any major metro area. The town I live in is 1,000 people, Lena. How many people live on your block?
Oh man,
More than that, probably.
yeah, probably a little more.
So, is there like what is it like finding gigs in a big metro area like that? Are you doing all of your own booking and kind of, are you staying busy playing every weekend or is it more like kind of theaterish or bigger shows that you're doing?
So I'm really blessed to have a manager to help me with all of these things. And she's just really good at making connections and and seeking out those opportunities and stuff. And I'm really grateful for her. Shout out to Camille Adrian, that's my manager, and she's just been absolutely amazing with guiding me and sticking with me during this time. Um, I will say around certain times of the year, probably obviously around summer stuff when the weather isn't so bad, there's definitely a lot more gigs. There's a lot more opportunities in this area than people think. It's a small area, but we're really connected around here. So it is, it's been pretty cool. It's been really humbling and really nice to just meet and connect with new people and stuff who are like minded and who want the same things you do. So it's been cool. It's been really cool.
Well, and obviously, like in South Dakota, we didn't even shut down during COVID. We so and when I talked to a lot of Midwest artists. Minneapolis had a totally different experience than we did, and I'm sure DC, obviously, because of the political climate and just the nature of the city itself, that you were probably shut down for a good period of time. Are you just coming into an artist career after COVID and kind of getting out and playing gigs now, or has this always been something that you've done?
Well, it's one of those things that it can get a little overwhelming, right? So it can be off and on sometimes. During COVID, I just tried to stay active online and stay active with my writing and stuff, trying to stay engaged. I will say what really hit me the hardest is when my grandparents passed away. They passed away within a year of each other, and that definitely, it definitely hit me pretty hard. So I will say I took a little break from it and kind of had to regroup. But at the same time, I wanted to make a tribute to them. I wanted to, and that's kind of what really got me back into it because I was like, I have to honor them somehow. And how do I honor them? The only way I know how is, by writing a song, by making music the way I express myself. So I kind of feel like, I was able to find strength in that pain. And that kind of just, pulled me out of the quote unquote funk I was in. And it kind of just was like, yeah, I like doing this. I like, expressing myself this way. So it kind of helped me get back into it at the same time. And I was good for a little while. And then my grandma passed away. So it's kind of definitely been like an up and down roller coaster. um, but I just been trying to hold on, and I know they're watching over me, they're watching over my family, and I kind of just hold on to that. And my grandma, they were so supportive of my music, so it made it hurt even worse because I'm like, you guys aren't even here, and doing all these things that I really want to share with you guys that I want you guys to witness. So, but I know they're watching over us. I know they're protecting us, and I'm just grateful.
I uh I lost my granny 2 years ago. Just it would have just been 2 weeks ago, and 2 years to the day. And she had had cancer 25 years ago, right? And had beat it, but we knew that when it if it came back, it was going to come back aggressive. And I had written a song when we found out that the cancer had come back, called Everlasting. And kind of the key phrase out of it was, time's everlasting, but time never lasts. And I had written that before I even lost her. I was kind of like grieving her even while she was still here. So I definitely feel you in the expression. Like, this is how I've always expressed myself, whether it's joy or pain, or whatever it is. This form, songwriting especially, is how I've gotten what's inside of me out. So I'm so happy that, through those hard times, that you found inspiration again to continue writing and to write some new stuff. And yeah, that you carry them with you. I think that honoring our ancestors is so important in, especially in this day and age. I think because of the way that information travels, and it's so fast, and it seems like time is just slipping away from us, that we have to honor those that came before us and that supported us, and laid a foundation for us to do what we're doing now. So yeah, very proud of you, and very happy that you carry both of your grandparents with you, and that you feel that energy surrounding you still. And yeah, I feel you. I'm right there with you.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Definitely. Excuse me.
No, you're okay. I know it's still early in the morning too, so I apologize for that. Yesterday I did a podcast at like 6 a.m. I was like, I'm never booking this early again. What am I doing to myself? So, so what's next? I mean, you've already had quite a few big shows, at least from what I've seen, starting out 2025. We're only 6, 7 weeks in here. So, what's coming up that you have in the next few months, and then obviously leading into a busy summer?
So I'd have a plan to release a lot of music. I just have so much I want to share with the world. I just dropped my latest single, "Promise," and a little bit about that. It's just about keeping making good on your promise. A lot of people say things and don't follow up on it. It sounds good at that moment, but that really means something to people, and it means something to me. So that's why I'm just like I wanted to put it on a bouncy club vibe where you can still turn up to it, still fun. It's not so like, oh, you got to get in your feels to listen to the song. Like, no, it's still a lot of fun, but it's still talking about something. You know what I'm saying? Like, I always want to make positive music and music that, that people can listen to around their kids, around their grandparents, how, what have you, and not have to run to turn it off because, like, oh my gosh, you're about to say this part and everyone's going to be offended. Like, no. I want to be a little more positive. I kind of want to branch out from what's kind of being put out around this genre and just do something different. And yeah, so I just released that recently. That just came out on the 24th. I'm working on the music video for that, so that is dropping very, very soon. I have another song, another video, a lot of things that I'm working on that I'm trying to get out there. Definitely more shows. We're definitely always working on that and always working on ways to connect and to network and to get out here. So Yeah, definitely a lot more coming. If you want to follow me, check me out. You'll definitely have a lot to see, and I'll be so grateful to share it with you.
And I think that positivity is something that's just permeating everything. We have a show called Get Better Together, and that's really just about putting our stuff out there, right? Whether it be trauma from our families or it's personal choices, right? I did 2 years in prison for selling pot. Oh God, it's been 10 years ago since I got charged for that, but I've been through a lot, and I don't see any good in kind of hiding that because I'm not that man anymore. I'm no longer the person that I used to be. So a lot of what my songwriting is that kind of, that positive message of you can come through this. And it's kind of bled into the podcasting world as well. And I think you hit on something that, especially with urban music, it's not always centered around that. It is centered around the club or things like that. But I think you're part of a much larger movement. um Man, we've all been through some stuff, right? Like the
Yeah.
last the
Oh,
last 10 years,
absolutely.
the last 10 years alone, just like on a global scale, have been a lot. And artists these days are tapping into something that I think we're all just kind of tired of the BS, right? We're tired of the lies. We're tired of being, told that things are a certain way when we have eyes to see that they are not that way. And the disrespect that comes along with that, right? To have
Mhm.
someone just bold face lie to you every single day for 38 years I've been on this planet, it seems like. But yeah, I think that music and culture, and especially podcasts and these conversations like we're having this morning, are so important to changing the culture, changing the tide. Like I think um, like politics kind of follow culture, and our culture has shifted dramatically, and that's why you're seeing a lot of the political change. I don't have to tell you, you're in DC.
Oh,
But
yeah.
that I feel it feels like the change is for the better. It feels like truth is kind of coming to the forefront. People aren't afraid. We're not trying to be fake on our online profiles. We're not afraid to share, hey, we've been through this. I'm not afraid to cry. I've cried on this show plenty of times already this year. And it's okay. And I think bringing that through the culture with our music, with our songs, and it doesn't necessarily, like you said, it doesn't have to mean that it's a sad song. It doesn't have to mean that you got to get in your feels, right, to listen to this, but that you can express these feelings, and you can experience these things, and come out stronger, and you're going to come out stronger. So I really appreciate that. I can't wait to see all the new music and the videos coming out. And yeah, see if I can't make it to DC to catch a show this year. How fun would that be?
Absolutely. Yes. That would be so much fun.
Layna, why don't you go ahead and plug everything that you got going on your website and where everyone can find you, and I'll let you get out of here.
Of course. So thank you so much, guys. Once again, my name is Layna Lay. That's LaynalaE. You can catch me on all social media platforms at The Real Layna Lay. So just THEREAL. And once again, LaynalaE. To check out my music, I'm on all streaming platforms. Excuse me, tongue tied. At Layna Lay, LaYnalaE, and yeah, like I said, my latest single "Promise" is out now. Please go check that out for some cool vibes, some positive vibes, and just connect with me on social media. I would love to hear from you. I appreciate you following my journey, and yeah, thank you so much. I really appreciate being on here.
Yeah. Well, Layna Lay, thank you for being part of the scene.
All right, then. Thank you for having me. Catch you later.